Yeah, guys, and good evening to everyone. I was just looking through the chat and seeing we have people from all around Australia and the world, which is absolutely badass. I love to see that so much. So, guys, my name is Michael Sloggett. I'm the CVO at a company called MTC Education. And I'm really excited tonight to showcase one of our lead educators and share with you guys something that's actually really exciting. I've been a trader now in the cryptocurrency space since 2016, 17. And in the 8 years that I've been in the space, I've seen literally everything kind of come and go. I was around for ICO Mania. I saw the launch of all of the shit coins on the BSC network. I was here for IDOs, IGOs, launch pads, the NFT craze, and now going through the madness of Solana. And what I've realized is after 8 years in this space, teaching over 40,000 people how to be profitable and participate in everything that crypto has to offer, is that every cycle, something very new, something very innovative, and something extremely profitable always comes to the surface. Now, one of the challenges of being in this space for so long is I've seen so much good, but I've also seen a plethora of bad. There's lots of things in this space. It's not all Skittles and rainbows. And there's things that come out sometimes that really hurt people. We saw the NFT craze that went absolutely mental. Every man and his dog was claiming that they were the NFT guru. And, now we're seeing, sadly, what's come of all of that and the pain and suffering that kind of followed. And, we saw the same thing with launch pads and IDOs and IGOs. And I'll be honest, I personally got sucked into that vortex because it was so exciting. And I made a significant amount of money, but sadly, I didn't have the foresight to be able to see that some of those projects weren't going to last. Now, throughout my entire time in the crypto space, there has been something that has always been around, but it's only now really starting to kind of find its legs, which, to be honest, I really like. As a trader who's traded professionally now for 8 years, who's done technical analysis and made money from the markets year in, year out for a really long time, I've seen things come and go. But when things stick around and really take their time to progress and build and get better and better and better, and when it takes a little bit more time, especially in cryptocurrency, that kind of excites me more because it means it's evolving, but it also has legs to stand on. And one of the things that has been in the background, that's been building away, that's kind of been, it's almost been like a kindling of a fire. And it's been getting fanned and it's been getting fanned and it's been getting fanned, is the decentralized finance space. And what I'm finding is as the market matures, as more people become invested and as more people become aware, I'm seeing the products in this space really grow. And we are very fortunate at MTC. We have someone who is entrenched in this space. I mean, he is well and truly in the trenches of decentralized finance. And what he's going to show you tonight is, how he's been making money a bunch of different ways and how he's been helping a lot of our community make, anything from a couple of $100 to literally thousands of dollars from just clicking the mouse. But before we get into that, what I wanted to ask is, who here likes the idea of making money residually? I mean, this is money that just shows up every single day, whether you like it or not. Who would like the idea of residual income? I'm telling you guys right now that residual income, if you had to ask me, Michael, what would you rather, revenue from a business or revenue that's residual? I'll take residual every day of the week. Money that comes whether you show up to work or not is the kind of money I like. when we look at an artist, look at a band, I don't know, think of someone like Metallica, who wrote a song and wrote it one time. Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, not that he's here to benefit from it, but a lot of his songs, they're legacy songs, right? These songs that continue to get paid royalties long after the work's been done. That's residual income. And what I found is when we look at DeFi and what's actually achievable here, because it is replacing a traditional banking system, banks have done one thing and one thing alone really well since their inception, since the beginning of time, and that is make lots and lots of money for themselves and their shareholders. So what I'm seeing with DeFi is it's kind of like the passing of the guard. It's giving the little guy a go. It's showing people that you can kind of be the person that the big banker once was, and you can start earning the kind of, money and fees and things that big financial institutions have always earned but kept for themselves. For the first time in history, blockchain and decentralized finance, it's kind of handing the reins over back to the people and giving us a crack at it, which I really, really, really like. Especially now, as me personally, I've always been a Bitcoin maximalist. I love Bitcoin. And I like what's happening to Bitcoin. Everyone's excited at the moment because, Donald Trump just come out and said they're going to buy 4 million Bitcoin. That pisses me off. I don't like that places like BlackRock, you guys all celebrate and cheer because they launch ETFs and they talk about how they're going to take all this. Or, Michael Saylor, every time he buys another 300 million worth, everyone cheers. I'm like, guys, you lost the point. It was for me. It was for Thomas. It was for Chris. It was Billy. It was for Reg. We were meant to get our little piece of the pie. But like everything, old money, big money come in, kind of took the game away from us. That sucks. What I'm realizing is DeFi, it's us getting that second chance, which I really like. So I'm very excited about how this is maturing. I'm very excited about seeing everyone's wins recently. And what I'm really excited about is to pass it over to our lead educator. And just to give you guys a quick summary, this guy, he's been with the cryptocurrency space since 2017 as well. Very, very long time. And wasn't always a maximalist. Actually came into the space as a little bit of a skeptic. Told people that anyone that invested Bitcoin was pretty much buying into a Ponzi scam and was going to lose all their money and they should be really, really careful. And one of the things that I like about that is someone who comes in as a skeptic who is highly intelligent, mechanically minded, and kind of like an engineer. They like to break stuff. They need to check to make sure it works. And then once they become a believer, it's because they understand the mechanics of it. And then they can have faith in it. And that's something that this man did. So this is a guy who, like I said, been in the space a very, very long time, has worked with me on multiple projects in the past. We've been super close on and off again in the 8 years that we've kind of been in and around this space. And he's the guy right now in our company that's helping so many people make so much money right now. And I just think that right now, especially in Australia, the little guy needs extra money right now like they need air. And I'm so grateful that this guy's been helping so many of our students do that. So I'm going to hand it over to one of our lead educators, Mr. Donnie Collar. Donnie, you there?
Yo, I am, Mick. Thank you very much.
Hey, brother.
I'm good. Yeah, that was a really great intro, man. You said a lot of stuff. Sorry, just got to move some shit out of my way. I've got windows popping up everywhere. You said a lot of stuff there that really makes a lot of sense. A lot of people always ask the question. I get questions all the time, like, how do I explain DeFi and things like that? And I think you explained it really well, how it's kind of, democratizing traditional finance and sort of putting that power back into the people. There's always been big businesses at the top, and when Mick refers to banks, I think you got to sort of stretch this out a little bit and understand it's not just like your typical com bank. We're not talking about those types of those as well, but there's a lot more parts to the banking system when you start talking about BlackRock and hedge funds and things like that. All of those players have always owned the finance space, and we have always been the ones paying the fees. And DeFi is really breaking, like shaking that whole space up and saying, well, hang on, why does BlackRock have to earn all the fees of you guys doing all this stuff? Why does the hedge funds get the cream on top? Why are the banks making billions and giving you peanuts? We could easily democratize this industry and allow you guys to be at the top. If you're the ones taking the risk and putting the money on the line, then you are the ones who should be earning the interest and taking advantage of that. So like, I love it. It's just opened up so many opportunities, and we've seen this space grow over the last couple of years, predominantly over the last couple of years when, DeFi summer sort of kicked off. And we've just seen like a really fast innovation in this space. Year on, year out, we just see new tools, new products, new protocols, new ideologies, new way of doing things, and a ton of new opportunities that just keep arising in it. And it's just a magical place to sort of play in. If you understand it and you entrench yourself in it, there's just a plethora of opportunities. And, that's what I've sort of been doing over the last probably 2 to 3 years, pretty anchored to the DeFi space, and, just exploring and trying different things out and finding what works, and then just, leveraging that and going sort of all in. And it's been working really well. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm just really thankful, that I reconnected with Mick after, taking a couple of years off of, doing the education thing, and, recently reconnected with Mick. And I'm just thankful because he's now giving me a platform again to sort of share this with everyone. And it's just amazing seeing so many people in MTC sharing wins and making money straight away. We've been teaching trading for so long, and it's a very hard thing to teach. It's easy to get the concept across to people, but the truth is it sometimes takes months to really start becoming profitable. And some people just drop out because it takes so long. It takes 6-12 months. They're not profitable, so they leave. But what I love about DeFi, it's being able to get these quick wins for people. They're seeing the proof, like they're actually making money, and they're going, holy shit, this is actually working. And it's just amazing to see like the shift in the mentality in these groups, and seeing people just like really run with it. I just love it. I love getting messages from people saying, holy shit, I've been trading for 6 months, haven't made any money, doing DeFi for 2 months. I've already made $1,000. This is incredible. Getting messages like that. Mick sends me stuff all the time from students sending him shit. And it's just amazing. So I love it. As I said, I'm thankful for Mick and MTC for giving me this platform to sort of, share this with everybody, and seeing everyone have a great success. So yeah. How's that for an intro, Mick? Are you still there? I can't see you. I've lost everything. All I can see is.
I don't know. I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
Okay. Cool. All right. So what I wanted to share with you guys tonight, when Mick asked me about doing this call, I sort of, we sort of threw a few ideas together. And what I wanted to do is show just 3 simple things that I've been doing, and a lot of people in MTC have been doing, to make money right now in the DeFi space. Because there's a lot of opportunities. Some of them aren't as good as what you might think. Some of them can be very confusing. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on how to do it, but I'm going to talk about these 3 things that we're doing. Now, one of them is airdrop farming. Right now, you probably remember a few months ago, this thing was like a hot topic, and you would have seen screenshots of people making absolute bank from airdrops. We had people making 10. I was saying to a mate before, like, man, don't we miss the days where we're getting like $10,000-$20,000 stimulus checks every other month from airdrops? But what happens is something happens that's really good, really lucrative, really profitable, and it gets put on blast. And then what happens is everyone starts doing it. And then as more and more people do it, the rewards get a little bit less and less. It gets saturated, diluted, the law of diminishing returns. Eventually, it's not as good anymore because too many people are doing it, and it sucks up all of that value that you once had. So we've had this little cycle where airdrop farming was really big, so big that everyone looked at it and said, I got to do that. So everyone ran and did it, and it sort of diminished the returns, and it got a little bit shit, okay? But what I love about these cycles in crypto is when it gets a little bit shit, what happens is people go, well, this is shit. I don't want to do this anymore. So they start leaving and doing something else. And what that means is all of a sudden, no one's doing this anymore. It becomes lucrative again, and we just start another cycle. And I think we're sort of on the cusp of this cycle again, because we've gone through this dilution phase where it wasn't that lucrative. And now all of a sudden things are starting to move. So I want to share, I've got a few screenshots to share with you guys just to sort of show you exactly what we've been up to. Now, I shared this on my Facebook recently. I've made a lot of connections in the DeFi space over the last couple of years. And I know the founders from DropBeast, and I managed to hook up a collab with MTC and offer a really special deal, early access to DropBeast. Now, what DropBeast is, it's an automated platform for airdrop farming. So the reason a lot of people don't see airdrop farming through is because it takes a lot of time. You've got to log into a platform, you've got to put up some capital, you've got to do this and do that, and you've got to constantly do it. And the more you do it, the more chance of getting a bigger airdrop. But it's time consuming, monotonous. A lot of people give up halfway through, and then they get a shitty airdrop and they say that's terrible. What DropBeast does is it automates that process. You deposit your money into a wallet that you create, and then you choose what protocol you want to farm on, and you just push play. And DropBeast will automate this process and just do transactions, provide liquidity, do swaps, do whatever it needs to do to drum up volume and TVL to get you a bigger allocation of the airdrop. Now, we got this special deal for our MTC members, and they all, or a bunch of them, all jumped in. And, we were all farming this one called ZK Sync. It's a layer 2 on Ethereum. And we were pretty excited about that one because it was going to be a really big one. And last minute, they kind of screwed everybody. They changed the criteria for the airdrop. And basically, a lot of people just didn't get it, including myself. We just missed out. And it was a real shame because a lot of us have been farming it for 6 months or so, spent a couple $100 on transactions, dedicated a bit of time, and we didn't get anything. And that sucked. But the really cool thing about these platforms is whilst we were airdrop farming for ZK Sync, some of the platforms that we were using during this automation, which we weren't doing anything, DropBeast was doing it all for us, but some of these platforms were also about to release a token, and we qualified for some of those. Now, one of the tokens that we qualified was called Avail, and they just recently launched on a few different exchanges. BitGet was one of the biggest ones, a few other smaller, lesser known exchanges. And it launched at about 15 cents, 20 cents or so, sort of hovered around. And you can see here a bunch of screenshots from our members. A lot of us got some decent airdrops, $825, 3.3K, 3,100. These are US dollars, 2,200. I've got another screenshot here of people sharing their wins in here in the MTC hub. 1.4K, 1.4K, 3.3, 1.7. So we got members here absolutely printing off something that was automated, out of sight. They didn't have to do anything. And those sort of, like, we call them stimmy checks in the space. We call them stimmy checks. When you get like a little payout, it's like, hey, it's like a stimulus check from the government. These sort of wins can really change some people's life. Like if you're doing it tough, things are pretty tough right now. All of a sudden you get $3,500 US, which is, $5,000 dropped into your account. It's a pretty big win. So I love airdrop farming, and that's one of the things that I've been doing. There's a few other platforms that myself and a bunch of MTC members have been farming for some time now, and they're getting close. Well, one of them is getting close to another airdrop. Another one, we don't have a date, but we're clocking up some points now. And there's another big one. Jupiter are going to have their second airdrop, and we're all airdrop farming that as well. So it's a little bit of a delayed gratification with airdrop farming. You do this process, you dedicate some money, and you set up the farm, and you might not get results today, tomorrow, or next week, but in a couple of months' time, you'll get an allocation to a token, $500 here, $1,000 there, $5,000, $10,000 if we get a good one. It starts to add up, and it's kind of those, like Mick was referring to before, as residual, because you kind of forget about it. It's out of mind, out of sight. And then all of a sudden, bam, holy shit, there's $5,000 in my account. I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, I got this one, I got that one. So it's really cool. So airdrop farming is one of the things that I've been doing for some time now. And I do think it's a really lucrative space. And we're sort of at that period where A lot of people have stopped doing it. Therefore, now it's really lucrative for those who have kept doing it. Now, the second thing I want to share is, I'm going to say this one. Yep. Is active, what I refer to as active liquidity providing, or liquidity provision. So, being a market maker, providing capital or providing assets into liquidity pools. And we use some custom strategies on a few different platforms that we use inside MTC. And we're able to generate, market making fees or trading fees whilst gaining sort of partial exposure to the asset. It takes some management, rebalancing, claiming fees, compounding, all those sorts of things. It's not a foolproof plan. We still have like a filtering process to figure out which coins or which pairs make sense to provide liquidity for. So there's a bit of strategy to it. But we're seeing, you can see here, last night, every day I update everybody and let them know what pools I'm in, how much I've earned for the day, how things are going, my sort of updates or thoughts on the market. And you can see here, even last night, we had a couple of wins here. Reese here made $170 overnight. Luke here made another $50 overnight, just in trading fees. It might not sound like a lot of money. And to me, at first, it also didn't sound like a lot of money. But the cool thing is, this is very much residual in the fact, or passive. You set these pools up and you can go about your day, you can go to work and do whatever it is you got to do. And when you come back at night, there's $50 there waiting for you. Again, it might not seem like a lot of money, but it does add up over time. And you are not sacrificing a whole lot of time or capital to do it. And as you scale this up, all of a sudden you're making $100, $150, $200 a night or a day. You add that up 7 days a week, 365 days a year, if you're doing it full time, and you've almost replaced your full-time wage on something that takes 1 hour a day to do. So for me, it's amazing. I love it. It's pretty much my full-time job. My full-time job takes roughly 1 hour a day, but I make more money now from active LP than I used to make as a mechanical engineer running my own company. In fact, I probably make 2 times more than what I used to, which is insane. So that is another thing we've been doing. I share my results. Everything is transparent. My wallet addresses, my charts for analyzing and recording data. Everything is updated and live. We do it on our live calls every week. All the students play along. They jump in the same pools. They collect their data. We compare results. And I just want to show you, these are my results from last month. We just closed off, which is technically this month, but my month ended a couple of days ago. So I want to share my results from last month. Now, you'll see here, there's a couple of weeks here on the first and second week. The results are pretty average. I only made $170 one week and $600. This is US numbers, $600 the following week. But if you have a look at my daily P&L results or fee results, you'll see here there's a big gap. I actually turned my wallets off, and this was just before the big downturn. I actually sold my position back to USD, put it into lending, let the market fall. It took a couple of days when Bitcoin had that big dip. It was just after just before the Mt. Gox FUD. Once the market dipped, I slowly went back in. So that's why there's a big gap here. And I didn't make much money for those 2 weeks because I wasn't actually LPing. However, you can see here over the month, this is again US, so $6,200, which works out to be just shy of $10,000 for the month profit from providing liquidity. And that was with using about $16,000 capital. So for $16,000, I managed to make, actually, I think it was a bit more than that. I think it was about $18,000. So about $18,000 made 6,000 US for the month. So it was a 33% account growth. So that just gives you a bit of insight on the sort of returns you can make from active LPing. However, you need to know what you're doing. And that's what we teach in MTC. We teach how to use a platform, different strategies, different filtering processes to find the right pairs, good times of the week to do it, bad times of the week to do it, different profiles and things like that we use. There is a bit of a knack to it, but you can get insane results. And I'm not the only one getting results. You've probably seen people like Chris, I think his last name is Johnson, Chris Johnson, sharing results in this Facebook group as amazing results. I can't remember his exact figures, but he's making 10 to 20% every week, which is every month, which is insane. Yeah, it's just great to see people taking on board what they've learned, and within 2, 3, 4 weeks, they are profitable, and it's insane. I love it. So that is the second thing, active LP. Now, the last thing I want to share is what I call passive LP for this one. So this is passive liquidity providing. And the reason I call it passive liquidity providing, because this one requires zero maintenance. If you've ever done liquidity providing before, you would know that you've got to purchase the 2 different assets. You've got to set up a pool with certain ranges and profiles, and there's a little bit of mucking around. And then your pool might go out of range, so you got to go in there and balance it out, and you got to maintain it. What this platform does is it handles all that for you. So you're just depositing your capital and saying, hey, do your thing. Do your thing and just give me whatever it makes every day. And this platform has been pretty insane, and a bunch of our members jumped all over it. You'll see, you know, when we get a big day, a big payout day, everyone's cheering, saying, hey, check your payouts, because it was huge. This was my payout. This was yesterday, the day before yesterday. I think it was yesterday. 333 USD. So that's about $500. This was a pretty high day. You know, normally it's not as high. It's a little bit lower than that. But imagine getting $500 a day into your account for doing absolutely nothing. This one I don't even touch. But the only time I touch it is if I'm collecting my fees to spend the money or invest in something else. So this is why I call it passive LP, because it is still doing the task of liquidity provision, but you don't have to do anything. You just put your money there, let it do its thing, and collect the fees. You can compound it. You can take it and spend it. You can buy some other crypto. You can trade with it. You do whatever you want with it. It's yours. And you just keep making these returns every day. Now, a lot of people are very skeptical of platforms like this, and I completely understand. We've all seen so many things cripple in this space. So I'll just give you a really quick rundown of where these magic returns come from. All of the money that is deposited into these pools, these FLP pools, is used for people to trade. So people leverage trade. They borrow the assets, they trade with it. They're paying trading fees every time they trade. They're paying margin fees for the assets that they're borrowing. People are getting liquidated. There's a liquidation premium. All these settlement fees, all of these fees and things like that are getting paid to the platform. But we, as the depositors, are the platform. So we get to keep all the fees. And that's where this magic money comes from. So you got to think of it as something like, imagine being the owner of Binance or OKX. OKX don't have any risk of coins or market volatility. They just make money on everybody else trading. So everybody else is taking the risk. They're longing, they're shorting, they're lending, they're borrowing, they're buying this asset, they're selling this app. And every time someone does that, they're paying a few % fees to OKX. So this is like being the owner of OKX. We are the owners of the assets, and we get paid every time someone buys and sells, and we just get to collect the rewards. So this is something else that a lot of us are doing. We all love it. I've seen a lot of people, you know, there's one guy in particular who has pretty much replaced his full-time wage from passive earnings from these pools, which is insane to think that someone's making $1,500 a week, I think it is, or close to $1,500 a week from something that he doesn't even have to touch, which is kind of insane. And these are the sort of, you know, opportunities that we have access to if you just know the right places to look. How are we doing for time, Mick? I don't know if I've been rambling or not. I can't see anything.
No, mate, you're all right.
Cool.
You're all right.
Well, look, that's about it. That was the 3 things I wanted to show. We've got airdrop farming, we've got active LP, and we've got passive LP. All these things that we're doing right now on Solana, they're easy to do once you know how to do them. You don't need a lot of capital to do them. And they're all very passive or semi-passive activities, so they don't take up a whole lot of time. And the best thing is, we teach how to do everything in MTC. We've got all the information, the tutorials. We got the coaches to answer questions. If you're having trouble with things, we'll teach you how to maximize the potential of them. Yeah, that's what they're there for. So yeah.
One thing, Donnie, and I always love to give people the opportunity. Look, I'm the founder of MTC. I'd love for you to join MTC. The truth is, no matter how much we beg you or show you or prove to you that it's a really good place to be, some of you just won't. That's the conundrum that I'm always stuck with. It's definitely the thing that keeps me up at night that I try to solve. But if these guys wanted to go out and just research and for whatever reason attempt to master this on their own, so what are the 3 platforms that people should use? There's one called Flash Trade, right?
Yep. So all these platforms are on Solana. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say DropBeast is not on Solana. This is a little tricky. So DropBeast is multi-chain. Okay. So DropBeast is multi-chain. You've got Meteora, which is the platform that a lot of us are using right now to do active LP. Now, the reason we're using that platform specifically, because there is a lot of other platforms. There's Orca, there's Radium on Solana as well. This one in particular provides extra features to really maximize your strategies, and it has a token coming up. So whilst we're earning money from LPing, we're also earning points for a potential airdrop that's coming, which means we're going to get even more tokens for free. So we're airdrop farming a platform whilst we're earning money on it. And then the last one is Flash Trade, which is the passive LP. But on Flash Trade, you can also leverage trade, you can swap, and you can earn as a liquidity provider. So yeah.
I'm going to pretend like I knew exactly what you said, but for the people who genuinely want to, go out and do it on your own, I want to arm you with the information to do it, because, I get it. A lot of people come to me and say, "Oh, Michael, I want to learn how to trade, but I don't want to pay to learn." And I was like, "Aaron, it doesn't make sense to me." So I give people all the resources all the time to go out and make the mistakes and learn on their own. And sometimes those people go okay, but majority of the time people don't, because it's it does take a long time to master. What I really wanted to share with everyone tonight was we've been working really, really hard behind the scenes, and Donnie has come up with a phenomenal system. Now, what I know from being in this space, as long as I've been in this space, is it can become so overwhelming. But I also understand that most people want something that is very easy to do, but can also be achieved very, very quickly. It's just the way we are as humans. We want to have a win. We want to be able to say, all right, this isn't going to take me 6 months. This isn't going to take me 10 hours. We want to say, is there something that I can watch? Is there something that I can learn that I can deploy immediately and start earning money? And what Donnie's been working on very, very hard, and we're getting super close to launching, is our MTC passive profit system. Now, this is going to be a very quick, it's like 3 or 4 videos, right, Donnie? They're about 5 to 10 minutes each.
Yep.
It's like an hour of very simple, easy to consume information that where you teach people how to do some of the stuff that you just talked about, and they'll be able to do it instantly, right? And they'll be able to start making money. They'll join MTC, and within an hour, they'll have everything that they need to start making money right away.
Yeah, so that's the easiest way to explain it, is we will literally hold your hand and show you which buttons to press, so that after you've watched these videos and done the task, you'll go, oh, was that it? Is that easy? Yes, that is that freaking easy. Like that's our goal. You're not going to be a master at it. You may not make $1 million overnight, but you'll leave that sort of hour session going, okay, I can do this. This is pretty easy. I know what to do. And then from there, we can build on it.
I love that. I love that. So look, I'm not sure how you got on tonight's call, but what I wanted to do more than anything tonight is, one, open up your eyes. I want you to realize that there's massive opportunity out there. There are so many things where, you can participate in right now. And the best thing is, the people who are winning at this right now, they're not Donny Collars. They're definitely not, Michael Sluggards. They're not people who have been in the market for 8 years who, know what it is that they're doing. The guys who are getting these airdrops that we're working with in MTC, they're average guys and girls, right, Donny? They're people who, just like everyone else, who are participating in this, right? Like, you don't need to be a brain surgeon. You don't need to be a mechanical engineer. You don't need to be even a crypto person, right?
Yeah, we make it pretty easy, and like you can make this stuff as difficult as you want, but it can be as simple as you want as well. And that's what I love about it. Like, the tools that are available now make it so simple that you're literally pushing 2 buttons. Anyone can do that. But if you want to nerd out like I do, there's also tools that make you just go and you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. So the cool thing is, we've got that coming up, right? It's going to be super easy. We'll get that launched. And if you join MTC now, you'll get access to that, before anyone else. The cool thing is Donny does a call like this. I don't know, Donny, is it 1 or 2 calls a week at the moment? I've struggled to keep it.
I just do the one. That's about all I got time for at the moment.
Yeah, understood. So Donny does a call. It's, it's meant to be an hour. I've heard sometimes they go for 3 hours. Because Donny's so good. Yeah, but not only can you talk, you have a genuine love for helping people. And what I love about Donny's calls is they're very interactive. People can ask questions, and he goes above and beyond to really, 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 really help people. So whoever invited you onto this call, whoever told you about MTC, if this is something that you want to get access to, if it's something that you want to learn, reach out to them and just say, hey, like, I want to be a part of this. And the reason why I want you to do this more than ever right now is I know how money works, and I also know the state of the world right now. I have been in and around financial markets now to see what's happening, and the truth of the matter is it is getting harder and harder to live, especially if you're an Australian. Like, I'm ready to leave this place. I'm ready to move to Vietnam. Like, I'm freaking done. The cost of living in Australia right now is so ridiculous, and there isn't just enough money, in the month anymore. People are literally struggling. And what I love about what we're doing is it's helping people earn that little bit of extra money to pay for those residual bills. I've always said, man, if you could just make enough money residually to cover your residual bills, so you could at least keep your income from your job to do the things that you're actually excited about or passionate about. I'm like, how ridiculous would that be? How amazing would that be? And I think for the first time ever, what Donny's teaching gives people the power to do that. I mean, Donny, how many kids you got? You got like a small tribe, right?
I got 5 and Lana's got 3. So we got 8.
Right. And you're a great grandfather, is that right? I just want
great grandfather. Yeah, technically, I'm a grandfather. Yeah, we've got.
You're a grandfather. Right? My point is you have a large family, and you have a beautiful home in Melbourne, and this is all you do, right? Like, this is your only source of income. You don't even really trade that much anymore. This is how you provide for those 8 beautiful, like, family members that are dependent on you, right?
Yep.
And that's what we're talking about, guys. Like, there is stuff out there that you can do. There's stuff out there that Donny's doing. There's stuff out there that our students are participating in. You can go out and do it on your own. And if that's what you want to do, hey, all power to you. I'm not trying to tell you that you need to learn it from us. I'm telling you that you need to learn it. What I'm telling you is that if you allow us to teach you, it's just going to be a hell of a lot easier. So the second thing that I want to share is this, is if you don't want to join MTC, I get it. We've actually put together, we're doing a 2-day workshop. Someone will put the link in the chat. So we're doing a live event. Everyone learns very, very differently. Truth of the matter is, I really need someone to show me how to do something. I don't know why. It's just the way my brain is. If someone tells me how to do something, they can tell me a million times. If they actually just physically show me and then I do it in front of them and they correct me, For whatever reason, I can do that. I do it once and no one ever has to teach me ever again. So we're doing a 2-day event. It's in Tweed, which is technically New South Wales, but it's about 10 minutes from the Gold Coast airport. It's a 2-day workshop. This isn't like a normal event where there's lots of speakers and, you know, someone gets up and talks about one thing, someone gets up and talks about another. This is 2 days of literal workshop style training where there's going to be myself, Donnie, and another one of our phenomenal educators, Phil. And we're also going to have some helpers in the room. The cool thing is this event's actually going to be quite small. It's not going to be hundreds of people. It'll probably be anywhere from 50 to maybe 100 people max. And what we're going to do is everything that Donnie talked about tonight, plus so much more, he's going to go through step by step by step by step. And we're actually going to show you how to set up, replicate, and then as you leave, duplicate, so you can then leave the event and go on and be able to do that on your own, moving forward for the rest of your days. And here's what we're prepared to do. I'm that confident and I'm that certain in Donnie and also what we're teaching that I'm offering 100% money back guarantee. So if you come to the event and you go, you know what, that sucked, I'm not into it, I don't even need to know why, just come talk to me personally and I will give you whatever the cost of the ticket is back, no questions asked, because I know hand on my heart that, you know, they're probably not going to exist. But I also know the delivery that we're, you know, the value that we're going to deliver. So there should be a link in the chat. It's if it's not, it's mtcevents.io, mtcevents.io. Book your ticket. And like I said, it'll be 2 days of you. Hey, I got a question. Hey, I'm trying to do this on my laptop. It's not freaking working. Hey, the thing that you just said, I'm confused as shit. Can you run through that again? Hey, can you double back? Hey, what are you going to do? We'll do breakout sessions. We'll do study sessions. We'll have sessions where you're literally just duplicating what you learned. So you're physically doing the thing that you were just taught. So you can set it up and make it happen right then and there. So you're going to leave this weekend armed to the teeth with everything that you need to go out and really make this work for you. So, you know, I just hope you guys can see that there's money to be made right now. There is more money to be made right now than there has ever been before. Crypto is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and these opportunities are only going to continue to expand. I know that Donnie's 100% committed to making sure that we are at the forefront of this, making sure that we get you the best information, deliver the best service, and make sure that you're participating in the most lucrative things that are on offer. And I'm going to do everything that I can to support him to make sure that he's got the best platform and everything he needs so you guys can continue to get all that massive value. So my advice is this: join MTC, come to our event, do these 2 things. And like I said, I promise you it is possible. And I'm not here to tell you that, you know, you're going to make millions of dollars. You can. But what I am going to tell you is we have people right now that are making little to a lot of money week in, week out. And they're consistently doing it with less time than ever required. And it is having massive, profound, life-changing change in those people's lives, and they are so grateful and so thankful, and we just want you to be a part of it. We want you to participate in this. We want you to come on this journey, and we want to help you relieve some of the pain and stress that is literally happening in so many people's lives right now from the cost of living. And we want to give you a platform and a place where you can learn, you can be supported, we can hold your hand, we can nurture you through it, and we can set you up so we can say goodbye to some of the shit times that maybe you've had to go through and start welcoming, you know, a bit more pleasure in your life. So, Donnie, have you got anything else to share?
The only other thing I'll sort of add on to that is, yeah, I've been to a lot of these events. I've not hosted, but I've been speakers at a lot of these events. And there's one thing that I take away from all of them, which is everybody has a different style of learning, and most people learn what's called kinesthetically, which is hands-on. most people learn better hands-on. So this event, we've designed it to be very hands-on. As Mick said, we're going to have, lay out a bunch of tasks. We're going to be doing them right in front of you. You're going to be doing them as well. Don't come to this event if you're not going to participate. Like, you've got to participate. We will be teaching you how to put money here and turn it into profit. Like, we'll be walking you through those steps. I'm bringing along a couple of my DeFi buddies with me. They'll be in the audience, not in the audience. They'll be in the event as well to help you guys with answering questions and stuff if I can't. It's just going to be really cool. We've got a couple other cool surprises that'll be really fun way of learning, and I think it's going to change the game a little bit from what we're used to, changing it up. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass. Plus, it's in a beautiful part of the world. Be some amazing lunches, some phenomenal dinners. It's just going to be a cool way to network, meet some great people, spend time with, create some quality connections, get some some friends, some new people that are all motivated, hungry people that truly are inspired to do something cool. One of the things that's so hard right now is meeting quality people, hanging around. I always say, hang around 5 broke people, you'll become the 6. Hang around, at least 5 people who want to make money. I guarantee you that if some of them do, by proximity alone, you'll earn some money as well. I always say, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you are guaranteed to get a bloody haircut. Come and hang out with some money-making friends, make some new connections, get around some positive people, meet some like-minded individuals. And the worst thing that's going to happen is you will probably spend a weekend in a beautiful place with some great people, eating some phenomenal food, learning some stuff that you never learned. And if that's as bad as a weekend ever gets, that's a good weekend in my book. So come to the event, join MTC, or go it alone. And I wish you nothing but the absolute best regardless. And like I said, get back to the person who invited you on this call tonight. Let them know you're in, and they'll be more than happy to get you started. My name is Michael Sloggett. It's been an absolute pleasure to serve you. And Donnie, as always, man, I love working with you, brother.
You too, bro. Appreciate it.
Have a good night, guys.
See you later, everybody.